In the remote village of Ravensbrook, surrounded by dense, ancient woods, there existed a place the locals called the Silent Grove. No birds sang there, no animals ventured near, and even the wind seemed to avoid rustling the leaves of the twisted, gnarled trees. It was a place shrouded in eerie silence and whispered legends, a place where the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. The Silent Grove had always intrigued Emily, a writer with a fascination for the macabre. When she inherited her grandmother's old cottage on the outskirts of Ravensbrook, she saw it as the perfect opportunity to delve into the mysteries of the Silent Grove and perhaps find inspiration for her next novel. One misty morning, Emily set out for the grove, equipped with her notebook and camera. The villagers warned her to stay away, speaking of disappearances and strange occurrences, but Emily was determined. She had always been drawn to the unknown, and the Silent Grove was the epitome of the unexplained. As she entered the grove, a chill ran down her spine. The silence was oppressive, almost tangible, and the sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy overhead. She could feel eyes on her, but every time she turned around, there was nothing there, only the ancient trees standing as silent sentinels. Deeper into the grove, Emily stumbled upon a clearing. In its center stood a decrepit stone altar, covered in moss and vines. Surrounding the altar were old, withered gravestones, their inscriptions worn away by time. She felt a strange pull toward the altar, an inexplicable urge to uncover its secrets. She approached the altar, noticing strange symbols carved into its surface. They were unlike any she had ever seen, intricate yet chaotic. Emily took out her notebook and began to sketch the symbols, feeling an unsettling energy emanating from them. As she worked, the air grew colder and the silence deepened. She glanced up and saw a figure standing at the edge of the clearing. It was a woman, dressed in a tattered white gown, her face obscured by long, dark hair. Emily called out, but the woman didn't respond. Instead, she slowly raised her hand and pointed toward the altar. Emily felt a compulsion to follow the woman's gesture. She brushed away the moss covering the altar, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, she found a leather-bound journal, its pages yellowed with age. The cover bore the same strange symbols as the altar. She opened the journal and began to read. It belonged to a woman named Eliza, who had lived in Ravensbrook centuries ago. Eliza wrote of the Silent Grove, describing it as a place of dark rituals and ancient curses. She detailed how the villagers had once worshipped a malevolent spirit that dwelled within the grove, offering it sacrifices to appease its insatiable hunger. As Emily read on, she discovered that Eliza had been chosen as the next sacrifice. Desperate to escape her fate, Eliza had tried to flee, but the spirit had caught her and bound her soul to the grove, condemning her to an eternity of torment. Emily felt a sense of dread wash over her. She realized that the woman in the white gown was Eliza, her spirit trapped in the grove, seeking someone to release her. The symbols in the journal contained the incantation needed to break the curse, but it required a sacrifice, one soul to free another. Suddenly, the silence was broken by a low, guttural whisper that seemed to come from all around her. The trees seemed to close in, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The air grew heavy, making it hard to breathe. Emily knew she had to act quickly. She recited the incantation from the journal, her voice trembling. As she spoke the final words, a deafening roar filled the air, and the ground beneath her began to tremble. The spirit of Eliza appeared before her, her eyes filled with a mixture of hope and fear. "Thank you," Eliza whispered, her voice echoing through the grove. The air around Emily grew colder, and she felt a sharp pain in her chest. She looked down to see her own body growing faint, becoming translucent. She realized with a jolt of terror that she was becoming the new guardian of the grove, her soul taking Eliza's place. Eliza's form grew brighter and more solid as Emily's faded. With a final, sorrowful smile, Eliza whispered, I'm sorry, before disappearing into the ether, leaving Emily alone in the silent grove. The villagers of Ravensbrook noticed that the silent grove seemed less oppressive in the days that followed, though they never saw Emily again. Her disappearance became just another legend, a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture into the woods. Years later, a new writer moved into Emily's old cottage, drawn by the mysterious beauty of the silent grove. And so, the cycle began anew, the grove's dark secrets waiting patiently for the next soul to uncover them.